I want to talk the Florida Gators. I think it's a good transition when we talk Florida from Michigan to Florida, because I feel like their trajectory in the 2025 class was very much the same. We saw the Florida Gators sit from the 40s to the 30s in the rankings to come and finish at number 11 in JD. It all happened when Florida's AD, Scott Strickland, gave a vote of confidence to Billy Napier. The head football coach at Florida seemed like he might be let go at the end of the year, but I think it was week 7, week 8, somewhere along those lines. It wasn't popular amongst fans, but boy, did it change not only the recruiting trajectory, but of the season. What do you think happened with the Florida Gators with that announcement?
I think just the overall, you mentioned the vote of confidence. Think about the confidence that brought to your locker room. You're hearing everybody from us on our show to other folks with microphones on national platforms talking about not just is Billy Napier fired. We're having the conversation already. Hey, who will be the next guy? Is it Lane Kiffin? Is it Eli Drinkwitz? Did they take a big swing and grab someone from the NFL? Right? Like that was the discussion we were all having. And so as much as you say you put the blinders on in the locker room and, we keep the main thing, everybody's on their phone. Everybody's got Twitter. Like, I can't imagine the impact that would have on a kid's psyche, trying to juggle class, get ready for a game, all those things. So to know you got your guy for the rest of the season and going forward, I have to believe that just sort of stabilized things. And also DJ Lagway getting the keys to the car made a pretty big impact as well.
I think it was both. Steve, we covered a lot of this with the Gators and their turnaround on the recruiting trail. It feels a lot like Michigan in the sense that I don't think it was just a one-off. I don't think the Florida Gators just had a couple good months at the end of the recruiting cycle. Are you getting the sense that this momentum that the Gators carried through the 2025 signing day is going to go into 2026?
Well, I think anyone that knows Billy Napier knows what type of person he is and how authentic he is. And with that, it resonates with anyone that comes around him. So recruits love him. Families love him. He hires a staff that's pretty like-minded to him. Talking to people in that Florida building in the summer, Florida had some of the best players in the country on campus, but they weren't even finishing the runner-up. They were finishing third, fourth, and fifth. But people were saying, wait till we play. We're going to have a good season, and these guys, we're going to come back around on them and land them later. Now, the season didn't go the way they wanted out the gate. People were firing them after the Miami game, but you see how hard the kids played for Billy Napier and company? That culture's real because of the corner office setting the tone and then how everybody goes about their business. So Florida hangs in there. They battle. They play hard week to week. The administration stands behind Florida. Well, the recruits instantly are like, well, I can help Coach Napier get this thing back on track. I know he's going to be there next year. I love him so much. I want to come ball for him. So that's how they're able to go out there and flip a Tramel Jones from Florida State, how they're able to go out there and ultimately land in Dallas Wilson, how you're able to hold off of Miami for Ben Hanks III. Ben Hanks III finishes as a 5-star cornerback in the On3 rankings. He's the best defensive back to go to Florida since Joe Hayden. 13 interceptions this past year. I think he's one of the special players coming into the SEC. I loved him at the Navy All-America Bowl. He's so smooth. 13 interceptions. How in the hell do you play against Ben Hanks and allow him to get 13 interceptions? Just ignore him. If the ball comes over there, he's going to make the play on it. Again, best defensive back to come to Florida, in my opinion, since Joe Hayden. Mark it down. I love what they did at receiver this cycle, but Ben Hanks is what excites me most about this Florida Gators class.
Yeah, Chad, I want to talk to you about some of these wide receivers, whether it's Vernell Brown III, Dallas Wilson. Also, he's not on this list, but Joshua Moore is another one. All three of these guys have potential to come in and play right away with DJ Lagway.
Yeah, I think that's definitely one of their strong suits. They obviously lost Joshua Moore to Miami, late in the process. That one kind of went back and forth late. But right. Yeah, they got Vernell Brown III, though, Dallas Wilson, Nashawn Montgomery, all three we just find at the University of Florida under Billy Gonzalez and that staff there for sure. I mean, Vernell Brown, he's obviously a Florida legacy, has multiple connections to that program. I've always kind of told him, just in a joking way, that I think his blood is orange, not red. That I think he was made to play in the swamp. He was made to be a face of the University of Florida program. And He has the skill to go with that charisma, that personality, that confidence. And, what he brings to the table is just excitement at that receiver position, leadership at that receiver position. Then you have Dallas Wilson. They flipped from Oregon. That was a crazy, obviously, signing day and a few days after with that one, how that played out. But he's an elite playmaker, 6'3", big catch radius, has that kind of that almost looks like he's playing in slow motion, makes things look so easy. Great jump ball guy, full of personality. And a guy like Nashawn Montgomery, every time he plays, he makes plays. Maybe doesn't get all the hype as Vernell or Dallas, but a very good addition to that room. And for me, the biggest thing about this Florida class is it seemed like that last month or so, it was full on go flip season. I mean, those guys were flipping guys left and right, from Joseph Mbachu from Texas, one going down the list, Jaden Woods, Penn State, Todd Jackson from USC, Tavares Dice from Auburn, Tramel Jones from Florida State, Steven Shivers from Georgia, Dallas Wilson, Oregon, Lagonza Haywood, Tennessee, Hilton Stubbs, Florida State. It was ongoing. They capped off yesterday with Onus Konambani, flipping him from Tennessee. Yeah. So that was kind of like the whole writing on the wall for this class was flip season for the University of Florida. Once they kind of picked things up, like Steve said, midseason wins over LSU, Ole Miss, back in Florida State, they really picked up some momentum and closed extremely strong in this class.
JD, UF Twitter has been buzzing over the early line of 6.5 wins for the Florida Gators. Seems like me and the boys are smashing the over on 6.5 wins just based on what I know in recruiting and what I saw from DJ Lagway playing on one leg toward the end of the season last year. What do you think about that 6.5?
I'm glad you said it that way, him playing on one leg. So I, Josh, have been very fortunate to now be a new father. My little girl is about 3 months old. Whether or not she is able to afford college will depend on Florida hitting the over for 6.5. That's how confident I am. Okay. DJ Lagway has only started 7 games. He's 6-1 as a starter. The one game that he didn't actually, or the game he lost, is the one he didn't even finish against Georgia. And again, he wasn't even full strength. So I understand the schedule is brutal, but when you look at what they have ahead of them, you get Texas in the swamp. You go to Kyle Field, and that'll be a tough one. But like Georgia, they're going to have a new quarterback. No guarantee what they are. No guarantee what Ole Miss is. They'll have a new quarterback. So there's a lot, I think, that is up in the air about their schedule in terms of you don't know who a lot of these teams are even going to be when you play them in November. Mm-hmm. So I'm excited about DJ Lagway, needless to say, and I will obviously be taking the over on 6.5 win total. Go ahead and lock that in.
Your daughter told you to smash it?
That's what she said. She said, Dad, I'd be disappointed in you if you don't take it. 3 months old. That was her first sentence. So, yeah. I mean, felt like a sign.
Yeah. She got to see some of what DJ Lagway did.
She caught the tail end of it. Yeah. She was impressed.
Right.
She couldn't go to sleep without DJ Lagway highlights.
Yeah. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Gator fans, you guys got to be feeling good. I mean, what a cycle it was. Vernell Brown, Dallas Wilson, Ben Hanks. To think that this class was ranked in the 30s in late October. Now they sit outside the top 10, just at 11. Unbelievable class. Lagonza Shady Hayward, he was a flip. I mean, this was a really impressive run by the Florida Gators, and I don't think it's going to stop until 2026. All right, Steve, what do you got on the Gators?
Yeah, Jaden Woods is a guy that we need to talk about a little bit before we move on to the next program. At one point committed to Penn State. He's the type of guy that we see the Nittany Lions develop into a first rounder. He was a top of the board player for Florida the entire cycle. They had him on campus in the summer. But again, the doubt around Billy Napier and the program coming into the season, he commits to Penn State, who's on solid footing. Florida gets that vote of confidence. The LSU game, the big win over LSU, people inside the swamp said they never felt the stadium like that before, how everyone rallied around the Gators after the loss of Texas, but Lagway's back in the lineup, the vote of confidence for Napier. They beat LSU. It changes everything, changed things for Jaden Woods, who has a chance to be one of the best pass rushers in the SEC, a 3-sport freak, a state champion in the shot put and discus, a wrestler, and a guy that is going to be a high-motored player, someone that we've seen James Franklin and company turn into the best pass rushers in college football. He's now going to Florida. We'll see if he ultimately becomes that in Gainesville.
All right, yeah, Gator fans, talk to me. Did you guys expect the run that the Gators made, or did that catch you off guard? Because I know a lot of Gator fans did not necessarily agree with the support behind Billy Napier, but the players did. more importantly, recruits did. Did you guys? Let us know, comment section below. And also, if you guys are still watching, smash that subscribe button for us. We're growing this channel, and we need you sickos to be a part of it.